Good Friday morning, everybody. This is the Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. The man with the plan, the man with the knowledge, the man with the wrestling news. And all opinions on this channel are from this channel, and they're not related to anybody else's opinions. And we're going to come off and start off in this video. I got up this morning and I checked out the wrestling sites and whatnot. And God, I saw something that just struck my eye and just made me laugh, had to make me chuckle. Vince McMahon says he does not care about his legacy. He just wants to be known as a family man. Who are you trying to kid, Vince McMahon? I mean, really, seriously, honestly, you want all of us to believe that you don't want to have a legacy? You wanted to be the number one promotion in the world of professional wrestling. You did that. You took down all the territories between you and Ted Turner, destroyed all the territories, and then you took down WCW after a great run by WCW of, I believe, 83, 84 to 86 weeks of being number one against Monday Night Raw, the Monday Night Wars, and now you've accomplished something that you've always wanted to do, and this is probably your last hurrah. You got Sting to join the WWE. And this is something you always said you wanted to do. And Sting always said he never would do it. But Sting finally gave in, whether it be monetary issues or whatnot, but he did. He went back on his word. He said he never, ever would join the WWE. But Sting obviously did. Now, Vince, you say you don't care about your legacy? What you must think fans are stupid, because this is what you've done throughout your life. After you took over the WWF from your dad, changed it to WWF, created WrestleMania because you saw in the back of your head that NWA had Starrcade. You said, well, we can do this and we can do it better. And what did you do? You bought out territories. You brought in Hulk Hogan. You brought in a guy that belonged to the AWA. Hogan sold out. The bottom line, Hulk Hogan sold out. And Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan created WrestleMania, and things flew from there. But don't ever go on and say that you don't want anybody to remember you and have a legacy, because you have the biggest ego in the world of professional wrestling. Let's face it. How many times on Monday Night Raw did you have it where you were either in a limousine and it blew up? How many times did you fake your own death? I mean, you were so full of yourself, and it wasn't until the Chris Benoit incident that you decided to change your demeanor. So Vince McMahon, really, who are you trying to kid? Because anybody with half a brain would know that you obviously want to have a legacy. You want to be known as the best and the number one most ever wrestling promoter in the world. And you did. You sought out to get what you want, and you got what you wanted. And now all of a sudden, when you see the product not doing so well, all of a sudden now you're saying, well, I'd rather be known as a father, a grandfather, and hopefully a great grandfather. You're full of shit, Vince McMahon. You're full of shit. The bottom line is, you've always wanted to be in the spotlight. Let's face it, this is why the Attitude Era started, because you got yourself involved with Stone Cold Steve Austin, only because Eric Bischoff was involved on WCW TV on Nitros with the NWO. So you figured you had to find a way to counter what WCW was doing. So what better way was to have, a feud going on with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then you had other feuds, obviously, with The Rock and within your family and whatnot. So don't say you don't want a legacy, because I don't think anybody in the world of professional wrestling that watched wrestling as long as I have and watched all the promotions throughout the years and watched how you developed your character, your on-air character on TV, which I must say, in so many different occasions, back in the late 90s to the early 2000s, you yourself were a focal point in the world of professional wrestling. Hell, you even won the Royal Rumble. You even had the World Heavyweight belt. So you say you don't want to have a legacy. Not gonna buy it, Vince McMahon. Um, you know, it, it's obvious that you have toned down things. Um, we don't see you much on TV, but you do have your ignorant daughter Stephanie, who comes out and struts like the old Vince McMahon does, has an attitude like the old Vince McMahon does, and then her husband Triple H comes out and all he does is brag about having the power to do whatever he wants to do. So, Vince, bottom line is, you don't want a legacy, you're full of shit. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I never will buy it. Your problem is now is you've gotten older, the product isn't as good, so you want to disassociate yourself with the product because you want people to remember the product with Vince McMahon when it was blooming, when it had 8-something ratings, 8-point something ratings back in the late 90s. Now they're down to 3-point something to 4-point something. It's nowhere near the way it was back when you were involved in the world of professional wrestling. So anytime you ever say, I don't want to remember, I don't want a legacy in the WWE, Vince, come clean. You just want people to remember you back in the days when wrestling flourished. You don't want to be remembered now when wrestling is not as good in the WWE. So, this is the Iceman here on this Friday. This is my thoughts. This is my opinions. And these are my opinions. And they don't reflect on anybody else's channel here on YouTube.com. And I'll be honest with you, I still haven't seen a video from Sean's View Entertainment actually talking about this because Sean usually jumps on everything, that he sees come out as soon as it does. So it looks like the Iceman really pretty much jumped on this one before Sean's View. Kudos to the Iceman. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy your Friday. Have a great weekend.